because there's no getting rid of Binks until Jesus takes him away from me.
Binksters, and a baby is my boy. I love him. Here he goes. This is my best friend.
Life is in a stream. The ocean called for you and me. Still, I'm in this game, but without my closest friend. It's leaving now. I waited here, but nothing came. So I close my eyes, 'cause you
I love you. It doesn't matter. I'll clean up all your messes.
it's shining through the light in you. It shines so true. The light in you.
While he's doing that, me and Banksy are doing laundry while the puppy takes a nap.
Free, feel free to run. Make it once again. And dreams turns into ashes. But here you are still in my arms. It's shining through the light in you. It's shining through the light in you. It shines so true. The light
Hey y'all, I'm gonna try to get this done in one go because I really don't want to edit this video. I don't want to spend hours editing it, and I really don't want to be filming it, but I feel like I owe you an explanation, and while many people would argue with me on that, I do feel like I owe you information. I feel like you guys play a huge part in my life and that you guys really loved Binks. Like I really loved Binks, and I think that I owe you an explanation. I don't know if I need to even be filming this right now. I really don't think that I should be. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. I don't want you to be worried. And I want to talk to you. I don't have Binks anymore to talk to. I don't have Binks anymore to talk to. So literally it's up to y'all and Jesus now. Before I started my YouTube channel, I didn't have any friends. Not even in my trailer park. I didn't have anybody. And my life was being changed. I was going through so many changes. And God had just wrecked my life and like flipped me upside down and changed me from the inside out. And I didn't know how to process that a lot of times, and I messed up a lot there in the beginning. And the only person that wouldn't judge me was Binks, because he couldn't talk back. So I started out like talking to church people, and it never ended up good. And I started out trusting people, with how I felt, and it never ended up good. So literally one day I just word vomited it out to Binks while praying to Jesus, because he was always at my feet. Well, I was always at Jesus' feet. And it just kind of catapulted into this thing where I was poor. I couldn't afford therapy. So I used Binks as my therapy. And he was the best therapist ever. If I pause a lot in this video, I'm so sorry. I don't want awkward pauses. I don't like awkward pauses any more than the next person. But like I said, I genuinely, I pray I don't have to go back and edit any of this, because I just want to get it over with, get it filmed, get it out there, and get you guys up to speed with what has happened. And then I also need to talk to you guys about just some like new things with the channel going forward, things that I'm going to be changing, things that I'm going to be implementing due to a lot of activity over on Instagram. So IG finds out stuff in real time usually, because they have a stories thing. So they have a stories option, and usually I can keep people up to date with things with the story option. YouTube used to have it. I don't think they have it anymore. And today's the third day. So 3 days ago, Binks went missing, and as soon as he went missing, after we were yelling and stuff for a while and kind of searching around the perimeter of our property and into our neighbor's side of the property and stuff, I put up a Instagram story that had his picture on it and said missing. And Lacey made that for me. She made me like a little flyer like thing, and I put up that on Instagram. And I was thinking, like, how in the world am I going to get this out? Because a lot of my Instagram followers aren't local. They're like from different states, and so I don't do Facebook. I haven't had Facebook in years, and I was like, I bet you the way I could contact people locally would be Facebook. So I made a Facebook and shared that picture in a bunch of groups, and that's a whole thing. Immediately people thought it was a scam because I didn't have personal information on there. I just had a brand new created profile, as fearfully created, and like 500 followers in an hour or something like that. Like, it was no time that I had that many followers, so it looked fake to people, and I get it, but I was having some traction, and a lot of you guys followed me over there to Facebook and were sharing in your area, and I thank you so much for that, but a lot of you guys weren't local. So I was really, really heavily relying on the Facebook groups to get the word out, because I just knew I was going to find it. Like, I just knew. I was like, he's literally gonna run over the hill any moment. And the longer that the day went, I was, the more worried I got. But it wasn't long after I started posting into the Facebook groups that people started taking that picture and writing scam over his name and over his little picture, because I guess my Facebook profile looked sketchy. I've since taken it down because I'm not playing with Facebook like that. Like, I'm not. Seeing my dog's face and scam written across of it, I almost ruined my reputation, because Binks is such a soft spot for me. So I had it going, though. I left it up, and I was like, I'm going to just deal with it, and any bit of shares that it gets, any bit of comments that it gets, it doesn't matter if there's people thinking that it's fake. Like, any bit of traction at this point is good. So I called everybody I know, and I was like, listen, I was like, guys, if you see anything on your Facebooks, if you see anything, newspapers, I called all the vets, I called all the pounds near me, like the animal shelters. I was like, if you guys get in contact with anybody who knows anything about Binks, I sent out his picture to everybody. I was like, if you hear anything, like, I don't care if it's 2 a.m., call me. I put out $1,000 reward for him. I would have paid $10,000. I would have done anything to find him alive. And so I called my friend, and it's my new friend that I made. She went from a subscriber to a friend because she's local kind of to me. And I called her, or I texted her, and I told her, I said, Binks is missing. Can you please get on Facebook and help, spread the word, really? And I put my phone down because I was like, we were out here for hours walking up and down the road. Shane was driving up and down the road, and so I didn't have my phone on me, and she had texted me, or her husband had texted Shane and said they were on their way, and they drove an hour over here because, like I said, she's semi-local to me. They drove an hour over here to get here just to help search for Binks. So we had us, and we had our I'm gonna call them our family because they really have turned into our family, especially after this. We were looking in all areas, and Shane went one way in our car, and her husband went another way with his car. And her husband got the idea to stop and ask if they had seen Binks. And he pulled up to, I didn't know this until he called, but he had pulled up to one of our neighbors. And that guy knew right away, why he was there. So he has large dogs, very, very large dogs. And he pretty much knew why a car was coming up through there because their dogs, I'm sorry if I'm getting all this, their dogs attacked Binks and killed Binks in their yard. Binks went into their yard, so he was on their property and their territory, and those dogs were, I guess, protecting their territory. Binks was chased out of my yard and into their yard. So the guy had said he had taken a nap, and when he woke up, Binks was laying in the yard, and he put him in a bag and put him over his fence line. I don't know if that's the protocol around here. I have no idea. I don't know why that happened, but he gave his little body to my friend, and my friend called his wife, who was here with me looking, and he said, I think I have him. And she sent his picture again, and she's like, are you sure? He said, I think I have him. Well, he called Shane and said that he thought he had him too, and Shane got super excited because he thought that he had Binks alive, and he had to explain to him that he didn't make it. And so as he was coming up the hill, as Shane was coming up the hill, our friend's wife was explaining to me that they were pretty sure that they had Binks in the bag in the back of the car. I called Shane while he was coming up the road and coming up the hill, and I said, hey, have you heard from our friend? He said, yeah, it's not good, Rena. And I was are we talking vet right now? Do you need to skip coming here and go to our vet or the emergency vet? What? He was like, no. He was like, it's not good, Rena. So when he pulled up the road, he got out of the van, and he pretty much confirmed that Binks had went on to be with Jesus. And I lost it. Mentally, emotionally, I lost it. And if my friend hadn't have been holding me up, God bless her heart, she held me up with all her might, I would have hit the ground. The scream that I screamed, I've never experienced a loss like this before. And I've lost loved ones. I've lost very close loved ones to me. But Binks represented a part of my life that I both embrace and run from. And he represents Marina before she was fearfully created, and Marina when she had nobody. And so I kind of lost it. I kind of really lost it. I kind of lost it. And I know the entire road I live on heard me squalling and screaming and just not being me in that moment because I really lost it. And then Shane wouldn't let me see him, but I made him go back and I made him check to make sure he was not breathing at all, because if he even had the faintest bit of a pulse, I was going to rush him to the ER right then and there. And he probably wouldn't have made it, but I was going to do it right then and there. But Shane triple checked and he didn't have a pulse. So I literally lost my dog. I woke up that morning not thinking, not ever dreaming. I was worried about getting pink ice perfume from Rue 21 because they're closing all their stores down. Like, I wasn't even thinking that today was going to be the day that literally I lost a part of me. I didn't think that. And I guess nobody does whenever something traumatic happens. But I never dreamed. I thought I had so much more time with him. I thought I had so much more time with him. He was only like 6. So in dog years, like, he should have lived at least 6 more years. Like, he should have lived that long. And I can't blame the people whose yard he went into, because they were so apologetic and they were so upset. And the next day she baked cookies for my kids and I, and she dropped it off and was talking about how sorry she was. I got in contact with her and she gave me her number, and I told her, I was like, I don't blame you or your dogs at all. Like, it was an unfortunate situation just in general. Like, she thought she had things secure because she has a huge electric fence for her dogs. She has like a bunch of acreage and she has a huge electric fence for her dogs, and I had an electric fence for my dogs, and my electric fence was working so good. Like, it was doing so good. It's a cattle grade electric fence, and I don't know how those other dogs busted through it. But I mean, it threw Shane. Shane tested it out and grabbed onto it, and it threw him at least 3 feet. I don't know how these dogs busted into my yard and chased my dogs. I have no idea. But where Binks was so spooked, I guess he just ran, and he didn't really even know what he was running to or what. He just knew he was running away from something. So I'm guessing that's how he ended up there, because he had never went over there before. He had never like messed at that fence line. He stayed in our yard, which I usually had him in the playpen or in the electric fence. So he wasn't ever out roaming and running around. So I'm guessing it was like a vacation day for him. Like, he never got to run around. So I'm guessing he took off. And I'm trying my best to get this in one go, but I'm having to stop because, like I said, I don't want to edit it, and I don't want to like do a thumbnail or anything. I'm just going to let YouTube pick the thumbnail and stuff. But Binks is now buried in the backyard in the prettiest little area that we love, the trees. My kids call it the Forest of Valor. Telling my kids was the hardest thing I've ever had to do to this day in my life. The hardest thing I've ever had to do to this day in my life, because when I told one of them, they were just screaming, not my Binksy boy, like, Mama, please tell me you're lying. And when you have your child screaming that with like tears coming down their face, like in your face, like, Mama, please tell me you're lying, and you want so bad to say, yeah, you know, this is a cruel joke, I'm lying, but you can't, like, that's going to mess me up for a while. I don't know what to do. I thought I did everything right. Like, I on Instagram, whenever I shared what was going on, I had a lot of mean comments, and I try not to let mean comments affect me. I feel like I do pretty good reacting to mean comments, but it was like a kick me when I'm down kind of thing. And so I was getting all these mean comments, all these assumptions, and people were messaging me and they were saying, wow, you couldn't spend $200 on a fence for your dogs or on a privacy fence for your dogs. And I don't know what they think I did or didn't do. And honestly, their assumption is, in a bluntly honest way, ignorant, because I haven't said how much I spent on my fence. I haven't said what I didn't spend on something. A lot of people have a lot of ignorant, not in a mean way, in an honest way, comments, and they have a lot of mean opinions, ignorant opinions on my income, but you don't really know. I don't really say anything. So I'm getting all of these comments and I'm already blaming myself because I could have went with a different kind of fence, and I thought that cattle grade fence was enough. That cattle grade fence, it wasn't that I didn't want to spend money. I spent $500 on the front fence, on the electric fence. The mechanical part of it, the box of it, was $200 in itself. I spent a lot of money on that, and I thought I was doing the best thing, and I will have to live with that for the rest of my life, and nobody is going to blame me more than I blame myself. If I had just chosen a different type of fencing, if I hadn't let him out that morning there, and if I had just put him in his playpen, because I just wanted him to have room to run around. I didn't want him to be in the playpen while we're all outside all of the time. I didn't want him to do that. I wanted him to run around and enjoy all of the house and the acreage for what it was, because he was trapped in a trailer park for so long. I thought I was doing the right thing. I don't know what else I could have done. Because those dogs, not the ones that got him, but the ones that chased my dogs, they would have found any way to get into my yard. You guys will know if you guys will know if you've been here for even a little bit that I have made comments throughout all of my videos about these dogs chasing my dogs, coming up into my yard and my property, attacking my dogs. Like, I haven't been quiet about that. And my only guess is Binks wasn't Rocky, because when they attacked Rocky was large enough to just stand there. He didn't even retaliate. I think I told you guys that. He didn't do anything. And Binks is a peanut. He was a peanut against Rocky. So I guess they just saw him as an easy target, and I don't know. I will never know what was going through their mind or Binks's mind. I literally pray to God, because I was screaming my lungs out. I pray to God that he didn't die hearing me scream like that and then trying to get to me or something. Like, Shay tells me that that's what ifs and that I can't go down that territory. I can't go down that road, but I just hope he didn't hear me screaming for him while he was dying like this. With me getting those comments and messages on Instagram, it gave me a lot of time to pray about the situation and my options that I have as a content creator. Because I'm going to be so honest with you guys. I almost quit. I almost was like, I don't want this, God. Like, this feels like I'm prostituting out my sanity at this point, because as a content creator, you're expected to just take it, and I've took it for years, but there's times in your life where you can't take it. Like, it will break you. And that's what I was telling them on stories. I was like, if you'll just give me today, like, just don't do that today, because I'm broken. I'm broken and you will further break me. And I can't afford to be that broken. Like, I can't afford to be that broken. So as I was going through all that on Instagram, I was praying and I was like, God, like, I want to put it down so bad. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I love my people and my community and YouTube and everything. I love making videos. But there in times like this where I'm already down and people hate me so much and I don't know why. I know that I'm a lot. And I know that I can be stupid. And I know that I can be unlikable. I know that. I don't like myself a lot of the time. I know that. But there's not anybody on this planet that I dislike so much that I would kick them while they're down. Not anybody. And I've had so many people do me wrong in my life. In-person people do me wrong in my life. And I still don't know anybody that I would kick while they were down like that. So I have a hard time wrapping my head around why people hate me so much. Not when it comes down to like the mechanics of it, because I know I get told it all the time, like I'm too loud, I'm too happy, I'm too fat, I'm too like nasty. I get told it all the time. I have a whole list as to why you would hate someone wouldn't like me, but I can't understand why you would hate me based off the fact that I'm a little bit stupid in some things and I'm a little bit like weird and loud and fat and stuff. Like, is that grounds to dislike me? I guess, but is it grounds to like hate me? I don't think it is. Like, I don't think it is. I don't think it's grounds to hate me. I don't hate you. I wanted to so bad. I wanted to hate everybody who was literally like, oh my gosh, the messages were horrible the day Minx died. And I wanted to hate them so bad, but I can't. I can't hate anybody. But with that being said, like, I still have to take measures. And I've spoke with a lot of my friends. I've spoke with some subscribers. Like, I have to say, I usually like calling you guys my friends, but I've spoke with in-person friends and subscriber friends. And, ultimately God and Shane. And it's unanimous that everybody thinks that I need to go with what I feel like I need right now. And as much as I hate to block people, as much as I hate blocking people. I don't like blocking people. I never have liked blocking people. I really don't block people. There's not many people I block. My moderators will sometimes delete comments, but if I come across a comment and it's mean, I just leave it and I don't do anything to it. And if it's, I can't remember the last person I blocked, and I've been on YouTube for almost 4 years. Like, it's been a while. So I don't like blocking, but in order to remain on YouTube and to keep doing this, I kind of have to draw a line, at least for right now in this season. And even though I know that hurt people because I've been that hurt person that hurt somebody, I know I've been there. I know that it's literally hurt people that hurt people, because I've been that hurt person that hurt a lot of people. And I know that a mean comment or a cruel comment could be the result of a really awful day. And I'm usually prepared to handle that. And I'm usually prepared to be the punching bag that day. But in this season right now, I can't be the punching bag. I can't take it. Right now, I know my limits, and I can't take that right now. And I hope and pray that you understand if you don't like me and you're making like mean comments, and if you do get blocked, I hope and pray that once you're over getting mad about it, that you understand that I'm literally, I'm doing it for me, and it's not because you're a horrible person. I don't think you're horrible for writing mean stuff. I don't think you're horrible for writing mean stuff. But for me to stay on here, for me to keep coming back to this platform, for me to love what I do and do what God has told me to do, I've got to draw that line in the sand right now. And I will probably get back to where I'll be okay. Maybe. I don't want to be okay without Binks, but I'll probably get back to where I'll be okay. And I'll revert back to how I am, where I don't block anybody or don't, delete comments or anything like that. But as for right now, I have to. And it's not going to be me doing a lot of it. Shane is moderating the heck out of my comments now. Before I get into my comments now, he's going in there and he's moderating, and he's doing the Shane moderating job. And Shane doesn't play games when it comes to that. So I've told him hey, if it's critical, that's okay. I'll accept criticism even right now if it's kind. You can be critical of me and be kind. You can give criticism and do it in a kind way. You don't have to be mean when you give criticism. So I've kind of laid out my rules for him to go by, because if I didn't, he would just go on a blocking spree, knowing him. But that's one thing. I'm sorry that I'm not timetabling this or listing it out. I'm just kind of vomiting it all out there, because it's just, like I said, it's just real time and how I feel right now. That's going to be one thing that's changing on the channel. It's me going to just be kind of putting a barrier up for a little bit in regards to mean comments and people who don't like me and stuff. And then another thing is, while I love sharing my dogs, because this has been so difficult, and because I have found out that Binks is a soft spot for me. I always knew he was a soft spot for me, but he's an area where you punch it and you take me down kind of thing. You poke at it and you poke the bear kind of thing. I've got to stay in prayer, because a part of my heart wants to really just as my little mama used to say, lay down my religion. It's a good thing I'm not religious, because I would have laid it down already. You can't lay Jesus down as easily as you can religion. I tried it that first day. I tried it, and he's not easily laid down. But because that is a soft spot, because that is kind of a trigger for me, I won't be sharing so much about my pets as I have. And that goes to a lot of other things like the chickens. People, I'm gonna set this straight for a second, because I get a lot of these comments on Instagram. People, and this rightfully so, they think that I just stuck my chickens in a shed. And I didn't do that. They have ventilation. We did the whole ventilation setup. I didn't show it on a video. I should have, because Shane got really ingenuitive with it, creative with it. But that shed is meant for chickens now. It is ventilated. It's properly ventilated. It has everything they need in there. Their nesting boxes, their roosting things, all of that. It is modified to work for the chickens. I didn't just stick my chickens in a storage shed. And I can get how people would think that, because I get a lot of comments about it, you're going to fry those chickens in that shed. Why would you just stick them in there like that? I didn't show it on video, but that doesn't mean I didn't do it. I should have showed it on video. I try to make everything I do around the house content, but I didn't show it. But yeah, it's ventilated and it's modified for the chickens, and they are very happy in there. That's their home. They go there by themselves every night for me to lock them up in there, and not lock them with a deadbolt, but shut them up in there, keep them safe from coyotes and stuff. But that goes into the part of sharing my pets and just the amount of unaware people making, like, once again, in honesty, ignorant. And when I say ignorant, I don't mean it in a mean way. That's the only word in my vocabulary that I know to use in this situation, where you think you know something but you don't really know something, kind of thing. You know what I tell you, you don't know anymore, kind of thing. That, and with the ignorant comments and things like that, like, sometimes I'm bad at sharing stuff, so I can understand why people would think that. But just ask me. if you think that the chickens are in a shed, ask me, hey Marina, did you just put those chickens in a shed? And I will be honest with you. It's a flaw of mine. I'm very honest all of the time. And that's not, people would think that's a good thing, but it's actually got me into quite a bit of stuff. But I will be honest with you. Even if it makes me look bad, I will be honest with you and I will tell you the truth. I think that's a filter God gave me when I got saved. I think he gave me a truth filter. but I'll tell you, you just have to ask. But the same way that I've had to stop talking about Shane's job, I briefly have mentioned that I don't show myself folding his work shirts anymore. I don't talk about when he gets home or when he leaves anymore. Nothing like that. Because I had people find his job. I had people find out his schedule. I had people contact his employer. I didn't know people were like that when I started my channel. I didn't know what I should really be keeping private when I started my channel. But boy, I know now from experience. I know now. I've had people in 100 different ways invade our privacy. And so I know when I need to back it up and stop sharing something as much. And like I said, you'll still see my dogs. My dogs are a huge part of my life. I've got two right here looking at me. Like, they're a huge part of my life. But I won't, there are certain things I will not share anymore. It's really just based off of what I feel like I want to share. And, yeah. I don't know when I'm going to be okay. And I'm afraid that people are going to expect me to just come back swinging and entertaining, and I don't have it in me. I really don't have it in me. I don't have that happiness I usually have in me. It's really dark in me right now. I've got a little headstone coming for Banks. I had it engraved with his little picture. I want to put that where he was at. If I had thought, I would have had him cremated, but I wasn't thinking at the moment, and I was just out there at the moment, so I didn't have him cremated. But I have a little headstone coming, and then I have a necklace that I have made. It's also engraved, and it's like a engraved image of Banks's face and his name. And then I have a wiener dog necklace coming with Banks's name in it. I just need to keep things like, I need to keep him around me. I need to keep him close to me right now. And I know I probably look so stupid right now. But I need to keep him close to me. And I need to feel like he didn't leave, even though he did. My kids are okay. They're taking it hard. They have their moments where we're just riding down the road and they just bust out crying. But they're taking it okay. Shane's taking it a little hard. Tater's not doing good. Tater was Banks' best friend. And she loves him, and she doesn't understand why when she's outside she smells him back there and he's not there. She doesn't understand. And Moon Pie's also taking it hard because she went back there where he's buried and she got still for a second and started whining and digging at the ground. So we can't let her go back there right now because I'm afraid that she'll try to like dig him up or something because she knows he's there but she don't understand why. But yeah. I hope I get happy again. And I hope that I get over, not over it, but I hope I get over this emotional hump soon. I know it's a part of grief, but I hope I don't grieve forever. I know that I'll think about him all of the time. Probably until I die. I'll probably think about him all of the time. But, I got kids that are not in here right now because I don't want them seeing me like this. They're outside playing, thinking everything's okay, and that I'm in here cleaning or something. And I've got other dogs that I love so much, and they're confused, and they're sad, you can tell. So I've got them to take care of and kind of keep me occupied, and I have you guys, and I hope y'all are patient with me. Just giving me time to find my joy. I know where it's at. I know it's in Jesus, but I need to tap into it. It's going to take me a little bit. I have some videos already filmed. I have some videos I already started working on. And the video that went up Monday of the final porch reveal, that was one I had already been working on, already editing and things like that. So I was able to just edit in a quick outro and have that up. I have other videos that I was working on too, but believe it or not, I was ahead of schedule for once. I was trying to, a lot of you guys have been asking me to post more frequently, and I was trying to do that, and then, this happened. So I have some stuff ready to go, and I'm not taking time off per se, because like I said, it's really up to you guys and Jesus now. Y'all are it for me. My other dogs don't listen to me, much like Bankston and Blue Jeans don't listen to me at all. So it's really just you guys. So I don't want to take a break. I definitely did not want to film this when I first started, but I feel better already talking about it. So I know how to listen to myself. If I need to stop for a little bit, I can stop for a little bit. My family don't depend on just this anyway, so it's not like I'm forced to make a video, to make money or anything like that. So I'm just going to kind of go with the flow and see how I feel, and yeah. I'm going to show you guys the tombstone and everything whenever it gets here. I've got a bunch of stuff coming. I also have, my pets are microchipped, but they don't wear collars because none of them like wearing collars. Rocky wears a collar, but he don't have a tag on it. So I bought them collars and tags on Amazon with their names on the front, my name, my number on the back with if lost reward, so people know it's somebody's looking for this dog. And I'm going to get them used to wearing those because some people don't think to take them to the vet to get them scanned for the microchip. So I also need, a way to put their rabies tags on too, because I just have them in a drawer in Shane's thing, so I can put their rabies tag on with their name tag on their collar. I got that coming, and I've got his tombstone and my necklaces and things like that. So I love you guys, and I know that most of you love me so much, and I can feel it. Like when I was on Instagram, I wasn't just focusing on the mean people or the mean comments. I was helped so much by the kind comments and the kind messages and the messages of support, and people, I was sharing stories left and right of people saying how much they loved Banks and how much they're going to miss him and how much they enjoyed watching him and how much that they knew he meant to me, and that was helping me a lot. Because I felt like when I started getting those messages that it was evident to people how much I love Banks. And I say love because that love didn't die when he died. I still love him very, very much. I still love him so much. I love him so much I can't stand it. Thank you guys for being patient with me. Thank you guys for being here. I love you guys. And like I said, there will be things changing as far as the comments and people being blocked and the comments being deleted and stuff. And that won't last forever. It's just right now, it's necessary for me to come back and post. Because I know my limits, and my limits, I've hit them. Like, I'm there. It's my limits. And then the things I share will probably be affected a little bit too when it comes to, like everything else. When I've noticed I've overshared, I pull back a little bit, and that's I kind of gotta learn a happy medium. And I know that even not sharing, people are going to assume things like me going a cheap route to get electric fence whenever it costed $500, or me just throwing chickens in a shed whenever it's actually modified for chickens. I know that even being more vague, sharing things, it'll only cause people to assume more. But just for right now, I need me and myself to kind of figure out what I want to share in that line there with my pets. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. You guys have been therapy for me. Big Slow thing. He wore this sucker out. Man, he loved this thing. He wore it even in the summer. It's only got one little button left. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you'll have a blessed morning, evening, night. Whatever it is, wherever you're at, know that I love you, but Jesus loves you, and he loves me so much. I will see you guys in the next one.